Hello, everyone. Now, if there was an award for the multiverse mashup no one asked for, but everyone deserves, it would go to Deadpool and Spider-Man. This is the ultimate combo that we didn't know we needed until it happened. And in today's video, we'll be breaking down all of the best moments from this series. So make sure to leave a like rating and we'll go ahead and get started. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Deadpool and Spider-Man recently teamed up in a 4-part limited series that was released by Marvel Comics. And while it may not have been the most recent Spider-Man or Deadpool series, it certainly was one of the best. This comic was written by Zach Main, who's known for his work on Deadpool and Venom, and he was able to deliver exactly what fans wanted from a Spider-Man and Deadpool team-up. While the writing was amazing, the art was also top-notch. The interiors were handled by the legendary Marcio Takara, who has worked with Marvel on countless titles, including New Mutants, Cable, and Deadpool. With such an incredible creative team behind this series, how could it not be good? Now, in case you're not familiar with Deadpool or Spider-Man, here's a quick breakdown of both characters to catch you up. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, is one of the most popular and iconic superheroes in the world. Originally created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, Spider-Man made his first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 back in 1962. Since then, he's become a staple in the Marvel Universe, appearing in hundreds of comic book series, animated shows, live-action films, and more. Peter is known for his quick wit, his amazing spider-themed costumes, and of course, his web-slinging abilities. When it comes to Deadpool, Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, is one of the most unique and fan-favorite superheroes in the world. Originally introduced in the New Mutants issue number 98 back in February of 1991, Deadpool was created by Fabian Nicieza and Rob Liefeld. Since then, he's become a household name with multiple comic book series, video games, an upcoming Disney Plus series, and of course, 2 successful live-action films. Deadpool is known for his insane healing factor, his insane skill set, and of course, his insane humor. So now that we've caught you up on these characters, let's jump into some of the best moments from their limited series. At number 4, we have a new origin story. Now, if you're a huge fan of either character, chances are you've already heard their origin story about a dozen times. But in this series, we actually get a brand new origin story for Deadpool. And let me tell you, it's an absolute doozy. It turns out that Wade Wilson wasn't always Deadpool. In fact, he used to be a normal human being just trying to get by in life. However, everything changed when he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. But instead of just accepting his fate, Wade decided to join a shady program that would give him the chance to be cured. Of course, this came at a cost, as the program would turn him into a superpowered mutant. And while Wade did end up surviving, he was forever changed by the experience. He developed a twisted sense of humor, a thirst for chimichangas, and of course, his signature red and black costume. We got to see this entire origin story play out in front of us in real time, which was a really cool effect. And it definitely helped to set this series apart from other Deadpool stories we've seen in the past. Number 3, Aunt May gets a makeover. In the comics, Aunt May has always been portrayed as a sweet, kind-hearted woman who is always there for Spider-Man. However, in this series, we got to see a different side of Aunt May when she was given a crazy makeover. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Why would anyone want to mess with one of the most iconic superhero sidekicks of all time? Well, the answer is simple. To be honest, Aunt May was starting to feel a little left out. She was tired of being treated like a helpless old lady and wanted to show everyone that she was still a force to be reckoned with. And boy, did she do that. When Deadpool first laid eyes on her new look, he was totally shocked. And let's just say he wasn't the only one. Fans were immediately taken aback by Aunt May's new appearance, but in a good way. Her new look was a bold, edgy take on the classic character that showed that she was willing to break the mold and do things her own way. It was also a really fun way to subvert expectations and show that even the most seemingly harmless characters can be hiding something. Number 2, Deadpool tries to help Peter with his problems. As we all know, Peter Parker's love life has always been a bit of a roller coaster ride. But in this series, things got even more complicated when Deadpool decided to try and help him out. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. What could possibly go wrong when you mix Deadpool's insane antics with Peter's already complicated love life? Well, pretty much everything. To be honest, Deadpool's intentions were good. He really did just want to help Peter out, but his methods were a little, well, unorthodox. Instead of just giving Peter some good old-fashioned advice, Deadpool decided to take matters into his own hands and start setting him up on blind dates. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, how bad could it be? Well, let me tell you, it was really bad. The dates that Deadpool set up for Peter were, well, disastrous. One date involved a radioactive pig, another date involved a group of angry nuns, and yet another date involved a literal car chase. Needless to say, Peter was not exactly grateful for Deadpool's help, but hey, at least he tried. And finally, at number 1, we have the epic conclusion. From the very beginning of the series, we knew that there was going to be an epic conclusion to the story. After all, it's not every day that you see Spider-Man and Deadpool team up, so we were definitely expecting some fireworks. But what we didn't expect was the way that the story would end. Without giving too much away, let's just say that the final battle was absolutely insane. The action was non-stop, the stakes were incredibly high, and the ending was totally unexpected. We won't spoil it for you, but let's just say that you'll never guess what happened. The final issue also gave us some closure on a few loose ends that have been hanging over the series since the very beginning. For example, we finally got to learn the truth about Deadpool's new origin story and Aunt May's new look. We also got to see the fallout from Deadpool's attempts to help Peter with his love life. And let's just say that it was both hilarious and heartwarming. Overall, the conclusion to this series was everything that we could have asked for and more. It was exciting, it was funny, and it was a perfect ending to a truly unique story. Now, before we wrap things up, let's take a look at some of the things that really stood out to us in this series. First off, the art was absolutely incredible. The way that Takara brought these characters to life was amazing. He really captured the essence of both Spider-Man and Deadpool and brought a fresh perspective to each of them. Plus, the action sequences were insane and the character designs were spot on. Another thing that really stood out to us was the writing. Maine did an amazing job of balancing the humor with the action and heart. He really captured the dynamic between these two characters perfectly, and the dialogue was on point. We also loved the way that he took these iconic characters and put them in a brand new situation. It was a really fun take on these characters that we haven't seen before. But overall, what really stood out to us about this series was the way that it made us feel. It was a fun and lighthearted read that made us laugh out loud and on the edge of our seat. It was a breath of fresh air in the world of comics, and we could never recommend it more. If you're a fan of Spider-Man, Deadpool, or just good old-fashioned superhero action, then this series is definitely for you. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll cheer, and you'll definitely be on the edge of your seat. Trust us, you don't want to miss out on this one. And that's it for our list of the top moments from Deadpool and Spider-Man. If you could put two beloved characters together in one story, what would it be? Let us know in the comments below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.